Can't take my eyes off, can't take my eyes off, can't take my eyes off, can't take my eyes off. You got devotion, dancing slow motion. My eyes can't help looking at you right now. So much emotion, just pick your poison. Is every move you make even allowed? Can't get enough. I try my best to look away, but I can't stop. Am I afraid to you? We almost touch. I feel your body move my way, you're close enough. So I say, can't take my eyes on you. You were all I see. Can't take my eyes on you. You know what I mean. Can't take my eyes on you. You were all I see. Can't take my eyes on you. Take my eyes on you. Yeah. Can't take my eyes off. Can't take my eyes off. Can't take my eyes off. Can't take my eyes off you. Can't take my eyes off. 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 Shaking head stern, you make my heart burn. It's like I'm awake inside of a dream. You're getting closer, night's almost over. I might just ask you to leave now with me. Can't get enough. I try my best to look away, but I can't stop. Am I afraid to you? We almost touch. I feel your body move my way, you're close enough. So I say, can't take my eyes on you. You were all I see. Can't take my eyes on you. You know what I mean. Can't take my eyes on you. You were all I see. Can't take my eyes on you. Take my eyes on you. Yeah. Can't take my eyes off. 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 Can't take my eyes on you. You were all I see. Can't take my eyes on you. You know what I mean. Can't take my eyes on you. You are all I see. Can't take my eyes on you. Take my eyes on you. Yeah. Can't take my eyes off. 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 Can't take my
I know that I should keep it cool, babe. Not lose my swag and play the fool, babe. Just play the game and hold on, maybe. But I'm done with the waiting, done with the waiting. I'm done with playing nice. Now look me in the eyes. Tell me, tell me, tell me what you see inside. Not gonna ask you twice. Not looking for your lies. Tell me, do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Those who wanna play by the rules end up last with nothing to obtain. So let's level up to remain. 'Cause I'm done with the waiting, done with the waiting. I'm done with playing nice. Now look me in the eyes. Tell me, tell me what you see inside. Not gonna ask you twice. Not looking for your lies. Tell me, do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? hearing the beat now, it's pulling me in. Meet me at midnight, oh yeah, oh yeah. If you're ready to get down, bring your friends. Meet me at midnight, oh yeah, oh yeah. Down on your knees, you're begging, please, you want it. My love's like fire, yeah, it'll leave you burning. Down on your knees, you're begging, please, you want it. My love's so sweet, sweeter. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. It's like we're magnetic, you're pulling me in. I'll never forget this, oh yeah, oh yeah. Young and we're ready, so don't be afraid. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Down on your knees, you're begging, please, you want it. My love's like fire, it'll leave you burning. Down on your knees, you're begging, please, you want it. My love's so sweet, sweeter. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, don't stop. Hands up, put your money where your mouth is, boy. If you think that you got it, don't stop. Hands up, put your money where your mouth is, boy. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is. If you think that you got it, hands up, put your money where your mouth is.
When I saw you over there, I wasn't sure. Now I'm feeling something I haven't before. Look at us now dancing now, skin to skin. If you keep this up, then I'll let you in. 'Cause you have a way with me like no one else. Yeah, you almost make me fall in love. Yeah, you got me hypnotized under your spell. I know I'll go home with you tonight. Oh, wanna get you closer to my body. Wanna feel your hands all over me. Gotta make 'em jealous every
Now you can hear me, right? Yes. Okay, now you can hear me. Woo! I didn't have my interface on. So, hello everyone. Hello everybody. Robin, yes, you should totally send me a set of your teardrop earrings. I will totally wear them. I love earrings. And today I went a little more boring, right? I went a little bit more boring. So, in case you were wondering why you couldn't hear me a second ago, let me get this thing in a different spot. Let me make that a little closer. Let me actually turn the gain up on that a little bit. Okay, so let me show you what I did wrong there. So, we're also not on the lava lamp cam anymore, are we? Okay, that little guy right there, my little Scarlett Focusrite. I restarted my computer and you have to turn that on. You have to hit a button that like kicks it into gear. I don't know why. But I forgot to hit the button. So that's why you couldn't hear me. But luckily for me, I was watching on my Wavelink app and I was like, oh, nothing's registering. I don't see any bars moving. So we got that figured out. We got it fixed. So we're all good in the hood now. Oh, how are you guys doing? Do you just mute the mic during the dance so we can't hear you sing? John, I 100% mute my microphone because one, I don't want you hearing me like, yes, singing is one thing. You guys don't want to hear me sing. I will tell you that right now. It wouldn't be good. It's not a good thing. And yes, honestly, I don't really sing too much, but I am sitting here like, this is what you would hear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that would be weird. You would hear that with the music. So, you know what I'm saying? Pokey Gal, hi, Ariana. It's been a while since we've seen you live here. I know Pokey Gal's always busy. Ariana, she's always got stuff going on. She's always going from one Zoom meeting to another. So excited to see you here today. I'm doing well. I'm doing fabulous. Today's been kind of a crazy day, though. I will be honest with you. I will tell you that I had a plumber here today fixing a drain issue. And then I went ahead and had him replace some faucets that I've been anxiously waiting on somebody to switch out for me. And I got tired of waiting. So I'm like, let's just make it happen. And then my kid is sick. She's not feeling great. So she's got a doctor's appointment later today. It's been kind of a crazy day. So I'm great other than all of that, right? So also I was just on vacation a couple times. A couple times. I did 2 long weekends back to back. So 4th of July weekend, we went up to the lakes, stayed with the friends. And then last weekend, we went on a little miniature golf trip up in Michigan. And so this is like the first full week in a while, and it feels really good. And it needs to be a productive week because the very last week of the month, I will actually be on an official vacation. And I'm pretty confident that I will not have good internet. So I'm probably going to try something new. Instead of being live, I will probably do some sort of premiere video. This is something that I know a lot of people have been doing lately. And so I'll probably do a premiere video. So I'll do that at the normal time, Tuesday at 2:00. That's the last Tuesday of the month, but still kind of figuring it out. We'll see what happens, right? So, Tara's here. Tara, we have not seen you in so long on one of our live streams. So it's so good to see you up there in Alaska watching us. Good morning to you, Tara, for sure. So this is hilarious. John says, we are Mel super fans and would like to hear you sing. I know Peter George wants to. You guys don't want to hear me sing. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. So yeah. John, are you in Michigan? Did I miss that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we went up to Gaylord, Michigan. So that's the area we were in. And we also went over to Boyne City for a day. It was really cool. I've never been up that way before. It was awesome. I loved it. So I do laugh that Peter joins us and it's 4 a.m. for him. It is definitely 4 a.m. for him. And yes, Peter, you would want to go to bed or be done. I don't know what you'd want to do. It would be bad. You guys don't want to hear me sing. So you guys, today, I am super excited to talk to you guys today because there's a few things. I've got a couple of updates, but I'm also excited. I'm going to talk a little bit about how things like what you're doing right now, showing up here today, talking with each other, the networking and the benefits that we can get out of doing what you're doing today. So I want to talk about that. But first, as always, I got to say I'm using StreamYard. This is powered by StreamYard. So thank you so much to StreamYard for providing this amazing tool so that we can create amazing live videos. honestly with ease. Like it's just really easy to do. And so I can display your comments. I can do a lot of great things. Now I can get, because I'm a StreamYard partner, you can get a 14-day free trial to the professional plan and then give it a try. Try out all the fun stuff you can do, like creating custom overlays, adding videos to your streams, adding your logo up into the stream as well, and doing all those fun things. I also can tell you that there are some awesome features coming out soon. StreamYard's been working hard this summer, and they are going to be releasing some really cool new features coming out soon. Pretty excited for the updates that are coming that way. So definitely, if you're a StreamYard user, it's a good time to be a StreamYard user. And if you're not a StreamYard user yet, definitely sign up for the free trial. Give it a try. See what you think. If you can, it'll downgrade you to the free version once you're done with that. So John says, Gaylord is 3 hours and 23 minutes for me. That would have been a bit of a detour. That would have been a bit of a detour. So, All right. So here's what we got. Here's what. If you guys have questions for me, do me a favor. I'm going to cover a couple things, but I'm going to definitely jump into live Q&A, and we are going to have some fun. I'm going to answer whatever questions you might have. So feel free to ask me whatever you want. But first things first, it's been a minute. But if you're a subscriber to my podcast, you may have noticed that I uploaded and released a new podcast episode last Thursday, actually. So really excited about this episode. It's part of what I want to talk to you guys about today. I give you five things that you need to, five things that you need to make sure you're doing to get the most out of being online and you getting the networking from it. So there's a lot of things that can happen when you network online. What you're doing today, showing up in the comments, hanging out online with other like-minded people is networking. You are doing virtual networking. And so in this episode, I give you 5 things to think about and to consider or implement so that you can get the greatest results possible when you're doing these things, because you're showing up. This isn't just for fun. John's just excited he's not mowing the lawn right now because usually he's mowing when I'm live for whatever reason. But we want to be getting results. We want to be making partnerships. We want to be making new connections. We want to be finding new customers, right? And so all of that is about networking online. New guests for your shows, right? So I know Ariana, for example, has guests on her show a lot, PokeGal. So James Hicks New Media, he has guests on his shows. There are ways you can't just be, just show up and DM somebody and expect that they're going to say yes. So in this episode, and the episode on the DIY Marketing School podcast, I talk about this very concept, and I want to share a couple stories with you guys about this. So I will tell you that what has happened in the last, what podcast? It's called the DIY Marketing School. Just search DIY Marketing School, and that is my podcast, Ariana. So in the latest episode is about this networking stuff. So here's the deal. When you show up online and you're out there, right? And you're active in groups. For example, if PokeGal, Ariana, if she reached out to John Pullum and maybe asked him a question, or even said, "Hey, I'd love for you to come on my show." They know each other because they interact in these comments. Tara Lampert, I know Tara from she shows up on the live videos. And so I talk about some of the strategies that you need to put in place so that you can get more out of it. So I wanted to tell you a quick story. You guys may have seen me. I did a live video, a few months ago. Here's the thing. Let me go full story here. A woman, Brittany Binion, who's been on my show before, asked me if I would do a bonus for her program. She has a program all about branding and creating branding and all those things. And so she said, "Hey, I'd really love for you to offer a bonus module for my students about live video." And I was like, "Absolutely. Heck yes." You want to know what's crazy? I've never met Brittany in person, but Brittany and I know each other because we kind of are in the same online circles. Right? So we're big followers of Amy Porterfield. We've gone through Amy Porterfield's courses. We were active inside those groups. I think she went through B School as well. When I was a B School mentor, I think she was in that class. You guys all know I'm good friends with my girl, Crystal Profit, who wrote this awesome book, right? Good friends with her. Good friends with Heather Sager. They're my 2 business besties. These are women I've met through the virtual networking world, right? I got this reach out from Brittany, and she was like, "Hey, I'd love to have you in my program." I said, "Yes. By the way, Brittany, I'd love to have you be a guest on my live show and talk about profile pictures." She was like, "Well, heck yes." that's an example of a connection, right? And so I offered a bonus program to her students for her program, and then she's helped me as well. So, but this all happened because of virtual networking. So these things are happening in today's world. These things are happening in person and online. And the tips I share in this episode are going to help you in both ways, because even when we can fully go back to physical events, in-person events, your online presence and how you are interacting online is still going to matter and make a big difference, right? It's still going to matter and make a huge difference. So, tell you a quick story time, right? That same woman, Brittany Binion, sent me a thank you gift in the mail. And the thank you gift she sent me was this subscription box right here, Sparkle Hustle Grow. Okay? So, Sparkle Hustle Grow is like this business subscription box. So like, like you can get like subscription boxes that are like FabFitFun, and like, it's like, here's your new workout outfit and here's your new whatever, right? This one is basically for business women who are needing things. In fact, in that kit I got, one of the items in the kit was this super cool thing that I can wrap my headphones on. So that's an example. It came with a book and some other stuff. Anyway, I loved it. I loved it so much. I was touched by it. I also loved this concept. I was like, this is so freaking cool. And I opened it up, and there's like this booklet in there, and there's like there's a featured guest, there's a book that you can read, there's a checklist, there's all these things, right? It's super, super, super cool. So I was like, this is awesome. I'm going to do a live video about this. So I went live, and some of you were on that live video, and it's on you can watch the replay. It's on my YouTube channel. And I basically was like, this is how you create a customer experience. And I talked about this kit, this box, right? I was giving a shout out to this company, Sparkle Hustle Grow. I kind of looked them up. I was like, oh, this is fun. She does these like live unboxings sometimes of the products, and she talks about why she selected each product in there very methodically. And I just really loved the company and the business concept. About 48 hours later, not even that, I get a DM on Instagram. And it is from Sparkle Hustle Grow. And it's an audio DM. And if you guys have been around for a while, you know how much I talk about this. Like, send people audio DMs. That's the way to go. And so she sends me this audio DM, and she's like, I just saw your video about the kit. That was so cool. Thank you so much. This is Julie Ball, the founder of Sparkle Hustle Grow. I just, thought it was fantastic. And thank you so much for doing that. I'm like, heck yes. So I responded back. And next thing you know, Julie Ball and I kind of became fast friends. And she's like, so you do live video, you help people with live video? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God. She's like, I totally want that to be one of my upcoming themes. We totally have to connect. Okay. So fast forward to July. And in this month's box, the theme is level up with live video. And who do you think the featured guest expert is? Fast forward from networking online, Brittany Binion, me helping her out. She sends me a gift. I loved the gift. I gave this company a shout out. Next thing you know, I'm fast friends with her. And here I am. I am the guest featured expert in this box that goes to hundreds of business women. That is how online networking can serve you. And so this podcast episode is all about that. And so here I am. My daughter, I had this box on the counter, and she's like, what is that? And I was like, open it. And so she opened it. I actually so wish that I freaking would have gotten this on video, to be honest with you guys. But she opens a box, and she's like, this is cool. And this is cool. And then she opens a pamphlet, and she's like, Mom, that's you. I was like, yep. So it was really, really fun, and it's really rewarding. And so I basically, same thing. I created a bonus module for Julie. It's their little course. Every month they get a course. So this is a monthly subscription. You can like subscribe anytime. You can just buy one box if you want. Tara's actually saying she ordered one as well. But here's the deal. Like, oh yeah, she's saying she had some issues, but the owner herself, yeah, Julie responded and emailed her. I'm telling you, it's a great company. But so, every month you get a course, you get a book, you get all these things, and you get this community. And so I'm super excited that this is like my month. So I get to serve her community. So this Friday, I'm doing like a live Q&A inside the Sparkle Hustle Grow community. Super, super excited. But none of this would have happened if I have not been showing up and doing things for the last 5 years the way I've been doing it. Julie actually remembered me. She's like, I remember you talked on Amy Porterfield's stage. I would have never been on Amy Porterfield's stage if I wasn't showing up the way I show up. I would have never been asked by Amy to talk on her stage. I would have never met Brittany Binion, who asked me to be in her program, who sent me the gift, who I then did the shout out for, who then now I'm in this thing. John Pullum and I wouldn't be fast friends. James Hicks and I wouldn't be fast friends. Heck, you guys, I probably wouldn't have these lights if it wasn't for James Hicks, right? Because he's kind of like my tech friend. I wouldn't have my buy me a coffee set up where you guys have all been super generous and have been helping me out. None of those things would have happened if I hadn't been making these connections. Connections are not just about getting customers. Connections are about friendships, peers, your desk mate, right? Your virtual desk mate, which is kind of what I feel like James Hickson is for me. He's like my little cube buddy. If we were in an office, we'd be like across cubes from each other and be like, yo, I'd be like throwing a wad of paper at him. Hey, come help me with this. That would be us, right? In an office space. But in the world we are living in today, where we're all like virtual and by ourselves and whatever, it's different. So I wouldn't have all of you guys if I weren't doing all the things I'm doing. And, that's the thing. So I'm also in this position now where StreamYard's having these online events, right? They're having these virtual summits, and I'm actually helping them line up speakers because of the connections I've been able to make over the years. And those connections are being made because of the things I'm talking about in this episode. So not right this minute, after we're done with our live, go check out the episode. I'm really excited about it. I'm also just excited to be back on the podcast, to be honest with you. So it's been a while. Kind of took a break from the podcast. I've been talking about that. I've been saying, hey, it's coming. I'm not letting go of the podcast. It's just from a priority standpoint, but I'm back and I'm excited to be creating podcast episodes again for you guys. So, okay, you guys, I don't see any questions yet. Give me some questions, my friends. Give me some questions. Meanwhile, I'm going to check on you in the comments. Sonia's here. Hello. She said I watched that video live. That's right. Sonia, you remember that? When I talked about this amazing thing. So yeah, super, super, super fart. Did I just say that? Super, super fart. Fun. I don't know why. I don't even know how that happened. Oh, that's going to be a good email subject line one day. The day I said fart on live video. I like it. It's going to be a story one day, right? All right, let me see here. Robin says, just peeked at the July Sparkle Hustle Grow box. Wow, yeah. If you guys want to get that, send me a DM. I'll send you a code where you can get the box, okay? Send me a DM. I'll get you a code, and you can get that box. So, okay, hold on. Never trust a super fart. Oh, we might be onto something there. We might be onto something. Like YouTube has super chats. Maybe we should figure something else out. Doug makes a great point. He says, consistency is the key that really does pay off. It's totally true. Consistency is definitely something that's really, really, really key when it comes to having all these things. So definitely make that happen. John says, you're cooler than your promo shots. I need new photos. This is on the docket. This is definitely needed to happen. I need new photos for sure. So yes. Hold on. Yeah. James is finally catching up. Yes. I am finally on LinkedIn Live, which is the other thing I was going to tell you all about, right? The other thing I was going to tell you guys about is today at like 1:24, I got the email. I feel like I got the golden ticket. I also feel like LinkedIn is really smart, and I feel super special right now, but I'm actually not that special. Like, I don't know. Just because I feel like you have to like give up your firstborn to get approved for LinkedIn Live, but apparently that's not the case. I will tell you, I do not know why I got approved. So I've applied, I think 3 times total over the last year. You can go in and see like your support ticket. The other day I looked at it, I was like, well, there's the support ticket. It's closed. But I did get an email today that says you've been approved. So I didn't have time to kind of play around with it, but I can't wait to play around with it. So we may start multi-streaming this broadcast to LinkedIn. We'll see. But you guys, my LinkedIn audience, they're not ready for this. They're not ready for all y'all. They're not ready for this. They're not ready for this stuff. So I think what I'm probably going to do, I would want to know what your thoughts are on this strategy, is I think what I'll start doing is I'll start showing up live as a solo stream over on LinkedIn for a bit, talking about a few things. I don't do a ton of content on LinkedIn. I really don't. I've been in and out of it. I think can be a very effective platform for many people. And I know that it is for many people. But for me, it just isn't really where I hang out the most. But I do think that it matters. But I do think that I need to kind of gauge the audience a little bit before I start intertwining or intermixing, if you will. And that is one of the things about multi-streaming you have to be careful about is be aware of your audience. So if I just all of a sudden I just added LinkedIn to this multi-stream, that audience, first of all, has never seen me go live. They don't get a ton of content from me these days. And the audience, my connections, is a mixed bag. I'm talking like as mixed bag as it gets. I have old friends, like friends I used to work with. I have college people that I went to college with. I have some of you are over there. Like, I know I'm connected with James, for example, over there. There's a lot of people over there. My connection audience, if you will, is a mixed bag. So for me, I think that my strategy and what you should consider as well is start showing up on that platform, play around with it, feel it out, see what that audience wants and what they care about. And then also let your audience know, hey, I do a weekly show, blah, blah, blah. It's Tuesdays at 2, yada, yada, yada. And then I think probably before I start multi-streaming over there, if I even do, I may decide that it's not a good fit. If I decide to do that, then I probably will be making announcement posts prior to. So lots to be thinking about when it comes to LinkedIn Live, my friends. Got to be telling you that. So, Robin, I actually think that we will have to make some sort of fart GIF because I think that's hilarious that I said that. That's super fart. Is that what I said? That's super fart? I don't know. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. This is funny. So PokeGal, see, this is a great point. So Ariana's YouTube channel is all about Pokemon, right? She's a Pokemon, evangelist or hobbyist expert. She's like got all kinds of stuff. One time, Ariana, you had a video I watched and you were talking about all the different shelves of stuff you had and you like showed, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, she can't even fit all her Pokemon stuff in there, but she's also an attorney, right? She's also an attorney and her LinkedIn audience, they know Ariana, the attorney. Her YouTube audience knows Ariana, this Pokemon expert, this super fun, engaging chick who brings on guests and talks about Pokemon, right? Those are two different personas. It doesn't mean that she's not authentic or whatever. It just simply means she has different personas. And so that's one of the things you have to really think about when it comes to multi-streaming. So her YouTube is this version of Ariana and her LinkedIn is this version of Ariana. And that probably wouldn't really mix, right? That probably wouldn't really mix. She says, I have 2 million worth of Pokemon collection. That's craziness. That is craziness. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I saw Doug's got a question. Fantastic. Thank you, Doug. And so does the Artist Haven. So, did you guys hear that? We got a little thunderstorm kicking in here. Hopefully we don't lose power. But okay. Artist Haven says, I'm curious to know if LinkedIn is a space for me as I'm not a professional. I am a professional artist, but that seems like a cog in a digital space. That is a really great question. And this actually, a lot of people have this same thought, same concern, same thing. So here's the deal. I think that prior to about 3 years ago, LinkedIn was predominantly corporate America. It was people working in large, business environments or people selling something, whether it be services, consulting, whatever. And it was very corporate-y, right? So when she says professional, that's kind of what she means by that. It was not a place where artists and creators felt like they needed to be marketing themselves. But what started to happen is some creators and artists started to go on LinkedIn and start utilizing that channel to talk about what they do, but maybe with a little twist to the content. So the Artist Haven, do me a favor, give me an example or two of a couple things that you do, like that you create. Like put those in the comments for me. Give me like 1 or 2 examples of what you create, okay, in the comments. So here's the thing. So let's say, for example, a professional photographer. Well, they're a photographer. They're like, I don't work in corporate America, blah, blah, blah. Well, all those people need headshots or those people need photography. Those corporate companies need someone to come in and take pictures of their employees and whatnot, right? For real. Then you also think about an interior designer. she's like, that's not really a space for me. I'm not really in corporate America. Well, those people need their offices designed. Those people might need tips on, feng shui-ness of their office. They have homes too that they might want help with, right? So while you're on maybe Instagram, okay, maybe you will talk about interior design in one way, but then when you're on LinkedIn, you might talk about interior design to the professional. Think about what those people, the lens that they're coming from, right? So they still need your services. You can still talk about your services. You just might use examples that are sort of because they're in that mindset. They're in that business mindset. Now, that was kind of what I used to tell people a while back. Anymore, it's kind of like free game a little bit. I mean, all kinds of people are using LinkedIn now. The other thing is really cool is you might find vendors or other people to network with on there. LinkedIn shouldn't just be like, hey, it's a place to get customers. Again, networking is about finding partnerships, collaborations, new opportunities, whether it be clients, new leads, or other things like I talked about. So think of it that way too. Okay, circling back. She says, I create fluid art paintings. I'm also working on creating digital art using my physical art, if that makes sense. I think I know what you mean. So that stuff, if you were to say, you could still go on there and talk about it. Because here's the other thing. A lot of those people, depending on what it is you do, like let's say, for example, if you teach people how to do it, right? Well, those people want a side hustle or they want a hobby. Again, just because it's professionals over there and there's a lot of professional corporate speak, there's room for other stuff. And so you can still show up and talk about how beautiful your artwork would look in their office. Or, hey, here's how, you can actually take 3 paintings and put them together and make this happen this way, right? Or, when you're creating your messaging and you are creating something that's promotional, you might say something like, hey, have an office party and get your people together and I will teach you a virtual class on how to paint XYZ, right? So again, it's a matter of twisting the language a little bit so that you're speaking to them in the space they are. You wouldn't walk into an office building, well, you could, but you wouldn't walk into an office building and just be like, hey, I wanted to see if I could walk around and see if anybody wanted to buy my artwork. No, you'd walk in an office building and say, hey, can I speak to whoever is responsible for the decor in this office? Maybe it's your human resources department or something. I have a few things I'd like to talk to them about. You know what I mean? It's just a different conversation. But if you're at an art show, you're at the farmer's market and you're sitting there with your booth and people are walking up to you, you're not going to say, hey, do you work in human resources? No, you're going to have a different kind of conversation. So it's a matter of twisting and tweaking the conversations that you're having. So that's definitely something to think about for sure. She says, I also offer classes. Yeah. So, let me see. Peter, yeah, it was totally real thunder. I promise you. It was absolutely real thunder. So, okay, put your, I see some more questions. Put a Q in front of your questions so it's easy for me to find it. Okay, for sure. So, Sonia says, financial literacy for freelancers and creative entrepreneurs. You belong on LinkedIn too. You could absolutely belong on LinkedIn. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying abandon all your efforts right now and go all in on LinkedIn, but there are freelancers and entrepreneurs on LinkedIn. All right. These people are on there. Freelancers and entrepreneurs. Is that what I said? Yeah. Okay. Going to go up and grab a question. I saw Doug. He had a question. Before starting a live show, how much promotion should you do beforehand to build up that first episode? The very first episode, build it up, man. I say definitely whatever you can do. Get on your email list. Let people know. Start teasing it. Say, hey, schedule it in advance. Maybe depending on, what your topic is and whatnot. Let's say, for example, it was the Artist Haven. And, Doug, I know that you do photography, but you also do like business life coaching, essentially. If it's a physical thing, like you're going to be showcasing your artwork or your photography, or if it were PokeGal and she's never gone live before, you could start creating pictures and be like, I cannot wait to talk about this in my upcoming live streams that I'm going to be starting the first week of August, right? You make some teasing, let your audience know this is coming. And then, like a week in advance, promote it, go on your stories, let people know, hey, next Tuesday, schedule it, use StreamYard because it makes it super easy to schedule the post so that people can actually see that it's going to happen, just like I do, where it says Melanie Diane Howe plans to go live at 2:00. Do that, promote it, share that link in your emails, and then go live, right? Now, Don't feel like your first live video needs to be this like big grandiose launch. It certainly can. And I actually think that would be super cool and awesome. But do not let that slow you down, right? Don't be like, oh, I need new pictures and I need new branding and I need all these new things before I start going live. Just start going live. Because the longer you wait, the more you kind of hold off, the longer it's going to take. The longer it takes to get results. The longer it takes for people to see you going live. The longer it takes for people to start showing up. Don't expect a ton of live viewers as you start your live video journey. That will come, right? But if you do the build up, you will potentially get more people that will show up live, especially as you initiate your live video content. So great question. I think, okay. Ariana says, Mel, do you think LinkedIn is a platform to find jobs? Yes, it's a platform to find jobs, but it's also a platform to learn, to consume content. It's a platform to network with, vendors, peers, potential guests, potential speakers. I think that it used to be a platform that was basically just for finding jobs. That is not the case anymore at all. It is for all kinds of stuff. It's just in a different type of vibe environment. Crafting with Kim, 100% you can ask a tech question. So definitely any questions are all on the table here, everybody, all on the table. So just put a Q in front of it for me. All right. Peter, says, Doug, put up images every couple of days at the same time you will go live with captions like, want to know how I created this. Yeah. Love that. Definitely create these teases, right? I definitely think that's a smart strategy for sure. I feel like I missed another question that didn't have Okay. All right. I'm scrolling on down. So if I did miss a question, repost it, put a Q in front of it for me. So, okay. Here's one. Sonia says, what kind of artwork to install for different industry? Like I use a bridge artwork for my work as a CPA office. Yeah. Like totally. Like she's giving, you're giving, the Artist Haven more suggestions. I love that. Okay. So Sonia has a question. How to utilize live videos when I'm already creating long form content on YouTube? Ooh, great question. Now, here's what I will say on the long form content. So Sonia, all right, we're not going to focus too much on the algorithms, right? YouTube themselves has actually said, please don't focus on the algorithms, focus on creating good content. Here's the deal. When you say long form content, for me, my live video is actually my long form content. So like these live streams are an hour long, sometimes more, and that's my long form content. It's a conversation. But whenever I do a tutorial video and I'm going to put it on YouTube, it's much shorter because I'm not having conversation. People want to learn and they want me to get to the point. So, there is that. But when you're creating live videos, if you have long form content, let's say you drop a video that teaches people how to do something or about something. What'd you say? Financial literacy? Is that right? Let's say you did a training or something, and every Monday you drop a long video and it's a training on expenses. Let's say that goes out on Monday. Well, then maybe that following Thursday, you do a live Q&A about what you put out on Monday. That would be one example of how you could use live video to support the other stuff. I do think that the YouTube way to go is to have a blend of both. I think having regular videos that are very optimized, very thoughtful, very methodical about what are people asking about, using keywords. Think about that research you can do to create content that people care about. And then your live content is about the conversation. You're having live dialogue. I always say, live videos is two-way conversation. So approach it like it's a conversation. The pre-recorded stuff, approach it like it's, somebody is watching, they're learning something, they're coming to learn. You're learning here, but it's just different, right? So get to the point, be short, be quick, make it happen, right? My videos are at max 20 minutes currently, and I have 408 subs. Awesome. 408 subs is great. So yes, I think that you're on it. So keep doing that. Just supplement the live stuff. You can also do, I know a woman, Jamie Troll. She's a good friend of mine. She does a weekly live Q&A, and she does the same thing you do, financial literacy, all that stuff. But you could do you could have guests on. So you could have guests and talk about stories. You could do interviews, right? Those would be great live videos that will support your channel as well. So I think you can absolutely utilize live video as a supplemental piece of content for sure. But so you saw what I did in the beginning of this show. I talked about my podcast episode. That's a similar example to what Sonia's talking about. I told stories about, the results that you can get if you do things correctly. And that podcast teaches you how to do the things correctly. It happens to be about networking online. And so I used this live video, the beginning of this live video, to talk about that. And I did a little miniature teaching, hopefully a little bit of miniature inspiration for you guys. And then hopefully you guys will go listen to the podcast episode, right? So you can also use your live videos to do that for sure. Okay, Bridget has a question about StreamYard. Hello, Bridget, by the way. Hello. Does StreamYard automatically put all the comments on screen from all feeds when you multi-stream? We want to do a live sale on 2 platforms, but I'm worried about musing comments. No, it does not. First of all, it doesn't automatically display comments. So like me pulling your comment up, I am selecting that comment. I'm not displaying every single comment. So it will put it in the feed. So you will see in the multi-stream. Let me just see if let me share my screen actually. Okay, hold on a second. I think I can do this. Hold on. I got to think for a second. Okay, share screen 2. Okay, you're going to get some major inception here. All right, so sorry for that. If you look here to the right, do you see all this on the right here? You'd notice Peter's on YouTube, Sonia's on Facebook. You're on Facebook. Here's Crafting with Kim on YouTube. I select these comments and then I deselect. So StreamYard will pull the comments in and you will see who's on which platform, but you decide what gets displayed on screen for your audience. So hopefully that makes sense and that answers your question and that was what you were asking. But I do love that I love that. They have been talking about making some slight improvements or enhancements, I guess I should say, to how commenting happens. Right now, for example, the comment feed will keep 120 comments. If more comments start getting posted, those previous comments go away. It just keeps them in there. They're actually going to open that up so that we don't lose comments. Like there have been times when I'm like, I'll scroll up to find a comment and I'm like, oh crap, it's gone. That's going away. But no, they don't automatically display them on screen for your viewers, but they do come into the feed. So there you go. Fantastic. StreamYard is so awesome. It's so fantastic. Excited. Bridget, definitely feel free to ask me any StreamYard questions at any time for sure. Okay. Crafting with Kim has a question. All right. She says, I'm using 2 cameras. You taught about opening a second tab. It's great, but I'm using a Bluetooth earbud. I mute the mic on the second tab, but I'm getting a delay through the Bluetooth. Ooh. So the Bluetooth, that delay you're getting in that audio sometimes happens when you're using that same microphone. That is kind of like the audio is definitely, so what Kim's doing is she's using 2 cameras and she's using the method where you open up a second browser, you go into StreamYard again and you enter the studio again and you just select a different camera and then you can actually show both of those views. The audio is definitely the downside to doing it that way because you can run into some issues. The delay could be because you're using a Bluetooth microphone. I do find that Bluetooth devices tend to have syncing issues. It is just a slower signal. It is just harder. It takes longer for that Bluetooth signal to get the audio to travel. It's faster when it can travel from a wire that's directly plugged in. This is also the case when it comes to your internet. While Wi-Fi is great, right? Wi-Fi is great. It also has flaws, meaning it doesn't have quite the signal strength that we always want. And so it's always ideal to be hardwired in if possible to your router. So it's kind of the same thing with microphones. I think you have mentioned before that you're moving around, which is why that Bluetooth mic is really important. That may be a problem or a challenge with your second camera. Now, the way around it could be for you to invest in depending on how much you need to move around, you could invest in one of those boom arms that comes down and it's not necessarily in the shot, but it pulls in your audio. So Peter thinks it's the Bluetooth as well. I definitely think the Bluetooth is probably what's causing your delay. The other thing is that sometimes it can be the power of your computer. So when we start hooking up all these extra devices, extra cameras, it can kind of cause some lags here and there. It's probably the Bluetooth. That's my guess for sure. She says, yeah, that's what I was thinking because it's Bluetooth. I'm using a hardwire to laptop. Yeah. Hopefully, there will be things that we can come up with in the future that can fix that. But for now, Bluetooth is usually not what I recommend, or wireless, anything wireless when it comes to audio, because of that very, very, very same thing. So great question though. Peter says, what are the benefits of Facebook Live over YouTube Live? Well, Peter, there are not necessarily benefits. It really kind of depends on where your audience is and where you're wanting to talk to people. Now, I will say this, depending on your topic. So I do think that hobbyists, for example, so darts, if we're talking darts, which I believe is what you're probably talking about here, my guess is a lot more people are looking for YouTube videos about darts and competing and things with darts there than like, they're not just going to Facebook and searching Facebook. However, if you wanted to, something like a hobby, I think you need to create a Facebook group. So a Facebook community, a Facebook group, and it's all about dart lovers and dart enthusiasts and the game of darts and all that stuff, right? If it's something that's kind of hobbyish, Facebook can be very beneficial because you can create a community around it and you can go live in your community and go live on YouTube at the same time. So there's kind of that, but I think it depends on the topic, the content, and the audience. My guess would be that more people are looking for what you are talking about on YouTube rather than searching Facebook. So that would be one of the benefits for you on YouTube. Now, if it were something else, let's say, it just depends. Again, it just depends on your audience. And so they're just a little different. One's not necessarily always better than the other. I do think that originally I used to say this, and I'm not saying it anymore because in fact, right now, more of you are watching on YouTube right now than on Facebook. And I'm streaming to 2 locations on Facebook right now. So there are more of you watching on YouTube right now live than there are on Facebook. That used to not be the case. My audience was all on Facebook before, but ever since I started multi-streaming, y'all are showing up and hanging out with me, or you see me on other people's videos and then you come subscribe to my channel and now you're hanging out with me. In fact, a lot of you can probably say that, like, oh, I saw you on a StreamYard video, or I saw you on Live Streaming Pros, or I saw you over there, Kirk Nugent, you saw me as a guest on someone else's content, and so you came over to my channel. That isn't happening so much on Facebook. More of that networking kind of stuff is happening on YouTube. At least that's how I'm experiencing it. So I am starting to see some massive benefits with YouTube live streaming. I do feel like though, 2 years ago, people weren't really watching, even a year ago, people really weren't engaging much on YouTube Live. Maybe I'm wrong, but that just didn't seem like the case to me. I think that the YouTube community is getting used to live videos and engaging live, whereas Facebook, people have been used to that for years. So I'm starting to see a shift. That's a really long-winded answer to your question. Sorry, Peter. Hopefully it was helpful. Okay, Sonia's got a question. How to ask people from YouTube to come and join the Facebook group? Well, Sonia, I will tell you what I do. What I do is I will a lot of times say, for example, earlier we had Tara up on there, and I may say, oh, Tara, she's one of our DIYers. She's in my DIY marketing with a Facebook group, and then I have an overlay, and I put this up, and then I will talk about the group. I also I talk about it. I'm intentional about my Facebook group. Many of my streams, you will hear me talk about the Facebook group. I'll talk about it towards the end. I'll say, hey, if this is the kind of stuff you like, then don't do this alone. Come join us over in the Facebook group. And so use it as a call to action, something that you can offer to your viewers, because it is an offer. It is something that you want them to think about. Now, my group is free, so it's not very icky for me to offer it, right? It's a free resource for them. It's a free community that anyone can join. And so I like to bring it up on the overlay like this over here, like that. Right? I can also bring it up on a banner if I want to. I have a banner for the same thing if I just don't want to grab the overlay if I'm in my banners. So talk about it for one, and then create an overlay, a call to action, if you will, and invite them in, right? And let them know what those benefits are. And when you do it, you will notice that your members will even sometimes start to chime in and be like, oh, we love the group. We love the group. Rada, 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 right? So that's how I do it. That's what I would suggest. Okay, Peter says, cool, I'm going down the right path. 99% of my audience is on Facebook. So I have a group and did my first show there yesterday. Now I have 120 people in the group. Awesome. Yes. So you are absolutely going down the right path. Now, Peter, what I would do, the exact same thing I just talked about. So make sure that if you're going live on YouTube, which, hey, start using YouTube Live as well, right? Be talking about this stuff. then invite those people, invite them to the group. So you may even say like, hey, those of you on YouTube, come join us over in the Facebook group. So you can definitely start to mix your audiences that way too. Robin wants to know online benefits of being in the Facebook group. Let me turn this off. I gotta turn that bad boy off. There we go. Outline the benefits of being in the Facebook group. What do they get out of joining your group? Yes. So Robin's making a great point. When you're inviting someone to the group, then make sure it's not just, hey, come join our group. It's great. Like she said, first of all, talk about who it's for, right? Talk about what are you getting in there? What are they getting out of it? That way they know, hey, that sounds like something. That sounds like me, and that sounds like something I want and I need. And so then they're going to have it, right? Sonia says, thanks so much, Mel. I will definitely try this method. I currently have 60 people in my free Facebook group. Awesome. Sonia, keep us posted. Okay. So obviously, we're here every week. Definitely keep us posted on the growth of your group and as you start to implement that strategy. James says, now you have my attention. What did we talk about? What did we say that got your attention, Mr. Hicks? I don't know what it was we were talking about that got your attention. Was it because I called you my cubicle mate? Is that what it was? Ooh. I said in the beginning of the stream that Addie was not feeling well. She's under the weather. I better not be getting that. I think my allergies are starting to kick in. At first, I thought it was her allergies. I was kind of like, you're being a weenie. No, she's actually sick. Okay, good. Sonia says she will update us. So, all right. So here's the deal. I, again, want to make sure y'all know the podcast. I'm so excited. I finally got another. It's been a while. It's been too long, but I got the podcast episode, and I wanted to share that story with you guys about how the full circle of networking can come around. Opportunities create opportunities. They do. And so get the opportunities by doing strategic and effective methods of your networking and your online presence. And there are do's and don'ts, right? And I will tell you, you better believe that one of the tips in that podcast episode talks about profile pictures. If you've been around for a while, you know how passionate I am about profile pictures, right? So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about the episode. Also, oh, sorry. I totally saw one of the comments and totally thought it said something else than it did. But also, if you didn't get it earlier, I said fart on the stream by accident. That was a first, and it was also kind of fun. And I'm already thinking about fun ways I can spin that funny content. But you guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. I'm going to go check in on the kiddo. I don't see any more questions coming into the comments, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this stream down. But as a reminder, if you're not already, oh, Peter's got a question. Okay, I'll take this question for sure. I'm working on another stream focusing on Gen X. I have the name down, but the tagline is questionable. Can I run it by you? Peter, you know what you should do? Because Peter, I think you're in our Facebook group. Yes, you are. You're in our Facebook group. Peter, definitely post that in our DIY Marketing with Melanie Facebook group and get everybody's feedback. Here's what I would suggest. I would suggest you give as much detail as you can so that we can kind of understand what this stream is going to be about, and give us your idea and we will give you feedback for sure. So that's one of the awesome things about the Facebook community is that you can get help in there like that. I mean, yeah, I will chime in, but also why not get the help from 700 plus other entrepreneurs or DIY marketers that are doing what you're doing. So there you go. There you have it. I would love to see you do that. Sonia, I would love a 5-star review on that podcast. So that would be great. Would appreciate that. Thank you, sister, for sure. All right. There you go. That's literally is a great use case for the community. Perfect. Griffo Productions. What is up? He's back. I'm getting ready to shut the stream down though, buddy. Go watch the replay though. It's pretty good, but it's good to see you back live for sure. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to go check on that kid. I'm going to get out of here. I hope that you found this one helpful. Again, talked about networking. They got the new podcast up, so go check that out. My podcast is called DIY Marketing School Podcast. You can find it everywhere, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's everywhere, so it's all good. And then check out the episode. Let me know what you think. And let us know in the Facebook group what you thought about the episode for sure. So, okay, my friends, I am going to get out of here, and I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Bye for now.